right, guys. So, welcome to How Does Dragons Know What Apples Is, a podcast ostensibly about Game of Thrones and is more generally described as something that I record and don't edit and don't put any effort into because I'm very tired. I'm going to stop saying that whole part about how I don't give a shit about podcasting anymore because I kind of do.
Yeah,
Because I'm kind of starting to like.
testing, but we're
Well,
still doing.
I don't disagree with you either. But I don't know if I am I recording. I am. I don't know if I have my settings figured out and correct. So we'll see if this is publishable or if it works. Yeah. I
we'll see if it sounds like total shit.
I mean, that's likely. I mean, that's almost guaranteed. Whether or not it will be usable or publishable in a mechanical, technical way, I'm not positive if, hopefully, anyway, yeah, I already had some confusing things happen, and I'm not sure exactly how I had it set up before a Matryoshka video. We'll see. But, so Arlen of Pennytree loved to walk around naked with his giant dong all over the place is what we learned tonight in Hard Salt Beef, episode 2 of Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, it's hard salt beef, a reference to his dick.
It didn't look hard to me.
Oh, jeez.
I imagine it is probably salty. People don't usually... I guess people describe human dong as beef from time to time. If someone was saying something about a man's beef, I would imagine they were talking about him farting.
Yeah.
That's what I think about when I think about a man's beef. He was in the very end of the episode. I feel like he was eating what looked to me to be a piece of hard salt beef dunk, or was he sharpening a stick?
They totally were. That's what he was cutting pieces off of. That's how you eat hard salt beef. It's
well,
really
he discussed
sort of like
Sir Arlen.
Yeah, nasty chunk of jerky, and ideally you want to like throw it in some soup or something that you make. But if you don't have that, you just stick it in your mouth and you chew on it for a while until it dissolves.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What's that stuff I used to buy at the? It's not.
No.
If you're in Norway, what's a hunter's sausage? Jorgen. What's a hunter? Like, you remember that movie Troll?
Jaeger. No, that's German.
Jaeger. Like the guys that fight the monsters in Pacific Rim. Man, it was called hunter's sausage. I really want to. Land Jaeger. Yeah, if you ever see Land Jaeger at
I assume it's like venison or something.
I'm not sure if I was getting it directly from. Offal is like guts, I think. I think isn't it like the hardened, salted bits of like the meat that, like the chopped up meat that where it wasn't going to get used.
Yeah, it's organs.
Giblets.
Yeah, you can munch on that in RDR2.
RDR2. That's like the first thing that somebody
salted
gives
offal.
You is salted offal.
Yeah, chew it up for health. You seen that video where he drinks like 500 hair tonics and then goes into a cutscene? Hair is just that's a good game too, man. I'm suddenly, I don't know if, I always get into these vibes of like, I'm gonna start playing, I like video games again, but I really have never finished RDR2, and last time it was because I had a controller malfunction, like for no reason. I like was forced to stop playing it, but someday I will finish that game. Really good.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
So Arlen of Pennytree. We miss him a lot. I like Dunk. Dunk is great. Dunk is a great guy.
Oh yeah, he is
good.
Yeah, he's very lovable.
Huge and lovable.
Yeah.
Having silly adventures, going in the wrong direction, forgetting where the door
Not
is.
that huge though. IMO.
Yeah, I kind of expect him to be. I feel like when the characters react to him being huge, I don't think he looks that huge.
Yeah.
Again, it's like in the books and everything, he's described as like 6'11", and everyone is like, "Damn, you're fucking huge." And
that's pretty big.
Yeah, it is. But of course, this is like, it's a fantasy novel, so everybody is like 7 feet tall if they're really if they're huge badasses and like, but literally no one is 7 feet tall in real life except a kid. I mean that you find some NBA players who are 7 feet tall, but even like Shaq, who is like one of the tallest fucking humans I know, he's not 7 feet
You know
tall.
Shaq?
No, I'm just throwing that out there. But like
He's seven?
I've seen a comparison of what Shaq looks like. I don't know, how tall is Shaq?
I don't know. I saw one of his shoes one time, and it was like you could put like a turkey in there.
Oh, he's 7'1". Never mind. He is big.
But he's only got 2 inches on dunk, so I mean, this guy does not look the size of Shaq to me.
No, he really doesn't.
But when I picture Shaq, I do picture like an ogre.
Yeah.
Like I think if he was coming in the house, he'd have to duck.
Yeah,
he probably would. I don't think my doorway is 7 feet tall.
Yeah, why would it be?
You're right.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously the first priority when you're hiring somebody is you want them to be a good actor. So
oh yeah, and this guy is good. This is a charismatic guy playing a charismatic character.
He's a very good actor. So that's probably a little more important. But yeah, he's quote unquote only 6'5".
Well, yeah, and you're not gonna you're not gonna hire a guy based on. But I don't know. I guess they could be standing him on an apple box more of the time in the shots. I guess he did look much taller than those Kingsguard guys. They did do it like they did. I felt like they intentionally made those guys look kind of small next to him.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It depends on the shot and the framing. But like whenever he's in the crowd, he's always like a full head higher than everybody else in the crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is. Yeah, I mean, if you're 6'5", you're used to being taller than everyone else, but like a full head taller than everyone else. I don't know.
No.
They do some stuff to make him look a little bit taller, but
did Egg jump down at some point because he thought he might get spotted, or was that just something that happened in my head?
Yeah, I think he was a little worried that he was going to get spotted
by Baelor,
or by one of the Targaryens across the way.
Yeah, there were a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, Prince Maekar's sons are missing. I wonder who they could be.
Well, should we do tend to spoil things, and I do not really know the entire answer. Surely one of them is Egg.
Surely. That's not. That's not a really big.
Right. So, and I guess I don't really the guy that the Targaryen, the white-haired young man that I assumed was a Targaryen, which at first I thought was Baelor, that we meet early in the episode, who mistakes Duncan for a stable boy.
Yes.
Is that the same Targaryen that we met in the inn that was like, no. I dreamt of you? Okay, so we got multiple. So I don't know if the other son is the guy that dreams of Dunk or the guy that thinks Dunk is a stable boy, or neither.
The guy who thinks Dunk is a stable boy is Arian, and he is another one of Maekar's sons.
Ah, okay. Yeah. There we go. These goddamn Targaryens running around with their white hairs, being inbred and weird. Yeah,
although Prince Baelor, notably and very specifically, has black hair, and it's going to gray in this series. They got a guy who had like black gray hair, because his mom is a Dornish woman.
Okay.
His dad is King Daeron the Good, and he was the one who finally brought Dorne into the rest of the Seven Kingdoms, by marrying, not by conquering.
Right. So, is there something about, because of the marriage between Dorne and the Targaryens, the Dornish are said to have some kind of dragon-blooded, sometimes, abilities or something like that?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
100%. Yeah, they Darren married the sister of the Prince of Dorne, and the Prince of Dorne married Darren's sister.
There you go.
So the Martell line has always had some Targaryen blood in it since then.
So we also well, I thought I might have seen a Hand of the King medallion on this guy, but the guy that was the friend of Mekar, was that a stag guy?
I don't remember.
Baratheon.
Yeah, Baratheon. I'm trying to remember who was in that scene in that little conference room when Dunk comes in. There's Baelor, there's Maekar, there's
Baelor was there. Baelor was not the man who remembers everyone? Or was that Baelor? That was Baelor who remembers everybody. Yeah. That's who I was asking about. It looked like he had a hand, the sigil of the thing through the hand.
Yeah, he's the Hand of the King too.
He's so that is the black-haired gray Targaryen Baelor. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was him because he looks to me like Stannis a little bit, and I thought maybe that was Baratheon. And it would having a Baratheon sidekick.
Yeah, but like Game of Thrones, or the Game of Thrones shows now, they're like trying to color code the nobles so that you can identify them easily.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So the guys who are dressed all in black with maybe some red accents,
Targaryens,
definitely Targaryens. Yeah.
Like that. I really do appreciate that because that was nowhere to be found in the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, everybody was just wearing cool clothes, and it was nice. They were cool clothes, but you had to be paying very close attention to who was who. Yeah. The Lord of Ashford was there, and I think that guy who made the joke with Dunk in the first episode about if you're lying about being a knight, we'll strap you in the Ashford chair.
Okay.
Just kidding. There's no Ashford chair.
This place is called Ashford Meadow?
Yeah, Ashford Meadow.
We met some, as I said, members of the Kingsguard. Is that Donald of Duskendale, whose father owns all of the crabbing boats? And it wasn't Donald and Ronald. I didn't catch that as their names. They weren't Donald and Ronald, were they? Donald and Ronald.
That's funny.
I thought I missed. That's what I wrote down as I was kind of taking notes, and I was like, I must have misheard that. But it was definitely Donald of Duskendale. That's for sure.
Donald of Duskendale.
Yeah, I didn't catch the other one. Yeah. Ronald and Donald.
The one who needed to take a shit.
Yeah, right. This is a very crass program, which is like, which I mean, I guess you would expect it to be, but it's sort of like, I don't know. It's just like. There was definitely a lot of people talking about taking shits in Game of Thrones, but this is just nicer somehow. It's just like, I feel like when someone is asking about taking a shit in this show, they really want to take a shit. In Game of Thrones, if someone's coming in and asking you to take a shit, there's all this pretense, and they're actually trying to threaten you with something if they don't get to take their shit, and they're wondering who else takes shits around here, and if you've seen a man taking a shit that I'm going to hunt down because he's shat in my wife's bed. You know what I mean? That's what Game of Thrones was like. Yeah. This show's much nicer. I got to be less bitter about game. I got to be less bitter about everything. Remember in the beginning of 2025 when I said that exact same thing?
Yeah. And I told you it was a bold year for
bold choices.
Yeah. Bold choice for 2025 to be positive about everything. How did that work out?
Very poorly, and I find a pattern forming because I was talking today. Maybe I get bored in January, and I start feeling like what, I'm gonna do some stuff, feel good about things, try to stay positive about I mean, shit. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's a hard fucking world to do that right now.
Yeah.
God damn it. At least we got shows about horses.
Yeah, shows about horses. It's so sad. He was so sad about selling his spare horse.
Yeah. Maybe he'll get to come back and buy him back.
Yeah.
That is always sad. He's selling off his Pennytree's old armor to rent armor that fits him.
Yeah. And hopefully he doesn't lose it because then he'll owe that armor like 600 stags that he doesn't have.
Don't tell me. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel like I don't feel like this is a story where Dunk is gonna like win the tournament. I mean, maybe he does, but
this is a gamble, man. This is like he's like I got like $20 in my pocket and that is it. And what am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna walk into the casino and put it all on red. Like what, dude?
Sometimes, well, that's
a
lot of very exciting stories based on that type of thing happening.
Yeah, and well, I mean, he's sitting there, he's talking about what he could do with his life. He's like, I could sell the horses and live real nice for about a year or two, and then what? I'd become a brigand, or I'd end up like an outlaw, or I don't have any other marketable skills except waving a sword around.
Good old Dunk. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. That's what he has been taught to do. He is in a world where you don't have very many opportunities, and if you have any kind of, if he feels like that's what he's good at, he's got to play. Here we are. Yeah.
And it's his dream. It's so obviously his dream, man.
Yeah, to be a real knight.
This is what he wants, to be a real fucking knight, to knock some dudes off their horses and hear the crowd cheering his name and fucking make a bunch of money. Yeah, man.
And he proves his relation to Arlen Pennytree by remembering the Grey Lion, who was Daemon Lannister, who was unhorsed by Arlen Pennytree many years ago.
Yes. And also rode 4 tilts against Prince Baelor.
Who was the spooky girl telling him that the princess, whispering to him that the prince's sons were going to be found dead or whatever?
I don't know. That might be one of Baelor's daughters. I don't know. That might be a princess. It might not be. It might be somebody else.
Bratty princess. Real, common type. One of the types of people you encounter in these situations. So the puppet show is doing Florian. Is that the guy that or Florian was the lady, right? Wasn't Dantos the fool? Am I thinking of? Is this a different Florian than Florian and Dantos? Who
Dantos
Jean Grey?
Yeah, Dantos liked to pretend to be Florian. And Juliet. I don't remember. It's basically Romeo and Juliet, excepting Westeros.
Oh, Florian wasn't the lady. Dantos was Florian.
Yeah, Dantos.
Or wait, was Dantos
a fool who was a knight who was something. He's one of those legendary knights in the Westeros lore who probably wasn't real and who did a bunch of legendary feats, and he's a fool, but he's also a knight. That's his thing.
Dantos was in Game of Thrones. Florian is the legend.
Yeah. Yes. Dantos
is the actual character. Florian is the legend.
Is the actual character.
Okay.
Dantos was a knight.
Yeah.
And he fucked something up really bad.
He keeps calling him. He keeps saying, "I'm your Florian." To
exactly.
Jean
and
Grey.
Joffrey was gonna have him fucking just killed, and then instead he made him his fool. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a fool, but I'm a knight. I'm gonna be your Florian, Jean Grey." Yeah, Sansa.
I think that actor that played Joffrey really didn't like the way people reacted to him after being Joffrey.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Did he not act again? He was like, "All right, well, enough of that."
I think so. I think he might have started going back to acting a little bit lately.
Here and there.
He does. Yeah, he might be doing more like theater stuff in England and what have you.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Shouldn't get mad at the kid that plays Joffrey.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. Do you think do you think this was Chekhov's fire powder? Is there going to be a big trick with now that Egg has learned about the fire powder?
I don't know. Good question. It seems like a Targaryen knowing fire tricks is a thing.
Yeah, it does. It really,
Right?
that is something that they like to get up to, I feel like.
I don't know. They definitely, like I said, I can't even say I'm following this. It's following the story exactly. There's certain things like when he goes and he talks to Steely Pete the armorer.
Oh, yeah.
That whole exchange, I think is like word for word.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Um,
good to know. I still,
um,
man, maybe by next week I will have read this.
yeah,
I
but
still
there,
keep pretending I'm gonna.
yeah, and I think it's exchanged with Baelor's kind of word for word too. But yeah, I mean, like they add stuff, like the guy in the back behind the prince who, recognizes Dunk from like talking to him when he arrived, and is like shaking his head, like, no, no, don't come in. This is a bad time, dude. What are you doing? That's not in the book,
Yeah,
but it's a clever
right.
little thing to just throw in the show. It's great.
Yeah, it's I mean,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
little details like that, and it's part of the process of adaptation, and it's honestly, and this is a charming show. I mean, all of these characters are really animated, and I should stop comparing it to Game of Thrones.
it's inevitable.
Yeah, right.
It's inevitable.
And we didn't get to see their finished sigil. We just know that
No,
we just know that he's decided that it will be
yeah,
a
yeah,
birch tree with an elm tree
elm tree
with a
with the
shooting
shooting
star.
star.
That's great. Dunk and Egg are
I,
great.
yeah,
These
I thought
guys
they were going
are
to say that. I thought there was a pool underneath the elm tree too, but they didn't mention that. Maybe they don't want to make it too
yeah. I mean,
complicated.
there's a lot of stuff for the simple, perhaps. And speaking of adaptations, simpler visuals are
Yeah,
simpler and better in certain
yeah, yeah. Like I was thinking of House of the Dragon, which has different visuals on like the sigils because like Aegon's sigil is supposed to be like a golden dragon on a black field because he loves his
right. Yeah.
gold dragon, and Rhaenyra's is supposed to be the Targaryen triple-headed dragon quartered with the arms of House Aaron from her mother
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
House Velaryon, her first husband.
Sure. Yep.
So that's like a real heraldry thing that people do. You quarter the field so that it's like in quarters. Then you have like the dragon on like the upper
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
and lower
Yeah.
right, and then
Fully. Yeah.
the eagle on the top right, and then if you look at like the coat of arms of like the King of Spain or whatever, or like some of these like European monarchs, they have like all these different crests and shields and stuff all over their royal symbol that represent all the different lands and titles they own.
All over their royal
So
bullshit.
yeah, exactly. So yeah. Um.
Is it
Anyway, yeah.
is it Lionel Baratheon? That's the Baratheon
Yes,
guy.
the Baratheon, the laughing lion,
Muddy tug of war with Lionel
muddy
Baratheon.
to yeah. Again, also added, and
Oh yeah. Well, I
I
guess
can
that would make
yeah.
sense. That's just
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
there's it's just totally visual. There's
Let's
nothing.
put in a
There's like
fun
nothing.
drunken tug of war.
Yeah, it's just like a fun tongue and drug of war. Again, it's like, did this add anything to the story? Not really, but this is just some fun shit people would have been doing at one of these tournaments. It's like a big fucking party. Everybody's getting drunk all day. you know?
Great. Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's the kind of show we need right now.
Yeah.
And they do their lancing each other at nighttime for
Yeah, for
which
reasons.
like as we said during when we were watching it, I was kind of like I sort of thought there was going to be a reason. Like, there's a big horn blows and
Yeah, and I'm
everyone's
like,
like, "Oh,
oh, what's it?
we better get over there to see what's fucking going on." And I guess it was just that's what we just do the
Like, oh, we're starting the
not the
first.
jousting, yeah.
Yeah, we're starting
I
the
didn't
first joust.
even there wasn't even really an opening ceremony, really. They were just kind of like, here's
Let's get this
Baylor.
shit started.
Let's
Nobody
fuck.
wants nobody wants to hear any speeches. Let's get this shit started.
Right. I
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
who
people.
does?
Yeah. They were jousting very dangerously, running their horses down while people are falling in the mud, and they kept going. They don't bring out like the safety car like in F1 or something when someone
No,
crashes.
we do
They
this
just keep
old
going.
skill. We do this old school out in Ashford Meadow,
Yeah, you better roll
fucking
out of
each
the
other
way.
up out there. Yeah, man.
It's the horse is coming. It's up to you to get out of the way, man.
We're cracking skulls.
We're knocking people on their asses. This is a sport that'll give you CTE.
Oh, is that like yeah, when football players have like
Yeah, boxers, they get too
concussions?
many
Yeah.
concussions. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, this is like
jousting will give you CTE.
yeah, is there some kind of sporting regulatory board making sure that guys aren't out there hurting each other? Because
I mean,
this jousting shit would never fucking each sports association has their own like regulatory board. There's
yeah.
not like
Oh
a
yeah, of course. I
jousting would
mean,
never fly. Although I mean they're allowed to do it at medieval times, I
they do it
guess.
in medieval. It's performance in medieval times.
Oh, they're
There are
not.
people.
There's not a league you can join.
No, there is no, but there is a
Yeah.
real because there's so many reconstructionists, medievalists, people who love medieval stuff all over, man. Jousting is
Yeah.
expensive because you have to learn. You know, people do that heavy list stuff. Like we know Locke used to love to like fucking dress up in armor and wave a PVC halberd around and fuck people up.
Yeah, sometimes not even PVC. Sometimes just a dull sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So is
just
the
kind of
Society for Creative Anachronism?
yeah,
Is that at least
and
an
also,
adjacent entity?
yeah, and I think there's also HEMA now, like the European martial arts, historical European martial arts, is what they call
Okay.
dudes
Yep.
dressing up in more modern style armor and then beating the shit out of each other with blunt swords. But yeah, they do jousting too. Not like that, I assume. I assume they do it more safe.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I think
there's like limits about how safe you can get when it comes to like two people riding at each other and like trying to slam each other off of horses with sticks.
there's not. I mean, it's the very.
It's-
I mean, the very base concept of it is there's just no way you're gonna.
It's innately
Like,
unsafe.
I mean, it sounds like. I mean,
No, I mean it's training for war. That's really what it is. You're training for war. You're training so that you can hop on the back of your horse and carry a big spear with an actual point on the end, not a blunted end, and
Yeah.
ride someone down and stab them through their body until they're dead. And then, do that a bunch of times. That's what you're practicing for,
Yeah, even with the unpointed spear, even if you're wearing armor, the entire point is to, with the power of your horse, keep this lance steady and knock the dude off of another horse that's also in motion. People are getting fucking hurt.
Trying to knock you off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just someone's gonna get hurt. That's
Yeah, you can. It is very easy to get hurt. 100%. And I mean that's what Dung was thinking about while he's watching all these people like slam into each other.
That's the end of
He's like he's getting this.
He's getting a look on his face as he's watching this happen.
Look on his face, and he's thinking about his master who's dead, and he's like, part of him is like he's like I'm going to show him for the sake of my dead master, but also like, oh, that could be me.
Yep.
That could be me pretty easily.
For sure, really easily.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing too. It's not like Dunk has had tons of practice jousting. Like he knows how to.
Right.
He knows how to, but in the book at some point too, he also kind of like wistfully thinks to himself, like, man, I wish there was a melee instead of a joust, because I could fucking kick ass in a melee, because I'm fucking huge.
Right.
Melee is just where it's just what it sounds like.
And that's like probably the type of experience he has had.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of dudes like in armor like go into a field and the last one standing wins.
I mean,
Yeah.
We don't know a ton of his backstory, but he's been in some combat. They've been in some battles together, Arlen and Dunk.
I guess.
But we don't really know explicitly really how much he's obviously trained with the sword and shield and trained for combat, but we don't really know if
Yeah. Like as a squire, I don't think he would have been following his master like into fights and stuff, but I don't know how many like actual big battles and
he's
stuff
probably
Sir
been
Arlen
in,
actually have been in. He said he was at Redgrass Field, which is a reference to a really huge battle at the end of the first Blackfire Rebellion.
Yeah.
Which was not long before which ended not long before this show, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe like a decade or something.
Egg is
Maybe a
talking
little
about
while.
the Blackfires.
Yeah, he's like, die Blackfires, yeah.
While Duncan thinks about Sir Arlen and munches
Yeah.
and slices his hard salt beef.
Yep.
Man, I would like a hard salt beef.
I don't know about hard salt beef. I think what you really want is like some jerky or something.
Yeah, hard salt beef is more harder and saltier than jerky.
Slim Jim, perhaps.
I would like to eat a Slim Jim.
Some biltong.
I'm not positive if I know what that is.
It's like South African jerky.
Okay,
it's
kind of
good
strips
stuff.
of, yeah, it sounds familiar. I feel like
it's almost exactly the same thing as jerky. They just use some different spices sometimes, and I think they might have like a different drying smoking method, but it's
Sure.
ultimately it's jerky. It's good stuff though.
Yeah.
And I like to say it biltong.
Biltong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound fun to say. Well,
Anyway,
yeah. Any other thoughts about this Knight of the Seven Kingdoms?
Me.
Nope. I just think, yeah, that's.
Excuse my coughing.
You're excused. Yeah, 4 more episodes. These are short little episodes. They're
Cute.
nice though.
Man.
Yeah, they're cute little things.
Good.
Thanks for streaming, Saint, and thanks for joining us. And yeah, hopefully this my file settings are correct, and this one will be nice and matroshki and usable. And I'll figure out what else I did with the other one, and otherwise I'll figure out what my process is going to be and what I have to do differently on using this setup. I'm still very excited about this PC, Weebs. Thank you.
Cool. I hope it does the thing.
It's totally doing the thing.